You can see the brakes locked on and skidding down the road.
This brake here appears to be the problem.
It's a major brake failure that can only be fixed from underneath the truck. With only 2 of the truck's 16 brakes locked on, it's a dangerous task. If anything slips, he's a goner.
At his depot in a Perth industrial estate, trucking company owner Matt Riches is feeling the pressure.
Tell those blokes, can we have access to their yard at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Richo's team is sweating on a quick getaway, on a trip to the middle of nowhere. His 6-truck convoy is heading for a cluster of tiny settlements in the middle of the central Australian desert. About as far away from civilization as it's possible to get. It's the last supply run of the year.
Everyone wants everything for Christmas, and we're running out of time now.
Shipping in food, bottled water, building supplies, and 6 portable homes.
I want you to bill a crane at 17,000.
It's a big job.
I've got grief with it.
And the weather's closing in.
Long-range forecast is fine, but that doesn't mean
Richo has a business that's going places.
13 months ago I didn't have a truck.
Now he's got 7 trucks, worth more than $3 million.
Trying to make decisions on the run, and they're hard to make sometimes. Are you making the right one? Are you making the wrong one?
And the loans to prove it.
They don't understand how hard it is to make money out of this game, mate.
Richo takes on the routes the big companies won't touch. And if he fails on this one, his team could spend a lonely Christmas stuck in the wilderness.
We're going to do it. It's going to happen. Right up to someone gives me a sign in front of me saying road closed, it's going to happen.
With full tanks, each of these road trains carries 2,000 litres of diesel, more than 40 times the average car. Richo's fuel bill for this trip will be $20,000. If they can't get through because of flooding, that's money down the drain.
The roads might be still closed the other side of Warburton. We don't know yet. I haven't heard.
Monster rigs need monster engines. 15-litre brutes with the grunt of 600 horsepower. They average a kilometre per litre. Trips like this put them under maximum stress.
Chances are something will go wrong, you know what I mean?
On top of the cost of his own fleet, the biggest expense is this crane that's been rented to unload the temporary homes.
That crane is costing me $300 an hour, and that truck's costing me $200, and this truck's costing me $200, and the wages and all of that. That's a lot of money.
But it's not just money weighing on his mind.
Kate, it's Dad.
Richo blames the stresses of his trucking life for the recent breakdown of his marriage.
Dad's going out bush now, all right? So he won't be able to speak to you for a couple of days. Look after yourself and be good for Mum, all right? And be good this week, especially, because Santa's coming. Remember that, all right? Dad loves you. See ya.
Richo's convoy has come to a standstill. The easy yards are over. The bitumen is about to end. It's going to get bouncy up ahead, so Richo wants the load checked one last time.
Is it all tight? Well, let's go. Oh, yeah, all tight, my ass. Seriously, Yeti, keep them tight.
At a mighty 6'5", Lane McKenzie's nickname is Yeti. At 21, he's the youngest of the crew.
Lane, E.G. Yeti, he's normally the general freight driver out there every fortnight, so he does this road every second week.
Yeti knows the road ahead, and although he's the youngest, he's not afraid to speak up.
We're going to have to wait like 20 minutes apart. There's no wind.
Huh?
There's no wind to blow away the dust. Too much dust, and they run the risk of it clogging up the engines.
You just suck dust all day. Fill the air cleaner up with dust, and then you choke the motor. But it's all right. A bit won't hurt.
The other drivers aren't so sure.
You're going to be ages. It's going to be like an hour apart with all the trails.
Get in the truck! Righto, you're going to see me do me block now. Get in the f***ing truck! Get in the f***ing truck! It's easy to go and get a truck. It's another thing to have someone to sit in it. It's hard. It's hard to find drivers.
Yeti may be the baby, but he's one of Richo's most trusted drivers.
As soon as I got old enough, got my rotating license and started working for Matt. Yeah, been doing it ever since. Oh, every day you learn something new out here.
There's an operator and a steering wheel attendant. That's what I reckon. A steering wheel attendant. They don't get out of their truck. They just sit there and drive. But then you need operators. They're running big loads or heavy loads or something out of the ordinary. Like 2,000 k's of dirt through the guts of WA in the hardest road around.
The next day arrives, and so do the first signs of trouble. Overnight storms have streams starting to run. Several roads have already been closed. The convoy is moving at half speed. Next stop is the Warburton Roadhouse, 200 kilometres away. Yeti's truck is back in the lead, but it's been badly shaken up. A big hole has appeared in the exhaust.
Play around. But the aircon's playing up as well, so on the old aircon 280, 2 windows down and 80 k's per hour.
The next stop is the convoy's last chance to get fuel.
Alright, once you go Farm Warburton, you know about it. That's where all our dramas are going to happen out there. Breaking down, flat tyres, getting bogged, the whole lot.
After that, there's desert and nothing else. A wilderness where anything can happen.
At the end of the day, the desert will do what the desert does. Full stop.
Richo's convoy has made it to the tiny desert community of Warburton.
Well, I'm just going to go and find out about these roads so we can make a decision about the roads, all right?
The trouble is, it may not be his decision.
Is it still closed?
It was yesterday, I don't know about today.
Roads can be officially closed out here by local authorities without warning.
Everyone's so f***ing pedantic.
Closed roads mean a whole lot more red tape.
Hey, listen, we're just trying to make a decision about the roads. Can you just give us an update on what's going on with it? Yeah, righto. All right, thank you. See ya. Shut. Impassable from Blackstone to Wingalina.
Richo's trucks are at a standstill. Rain has washed out sections of the dirt road up ahead.
Both graders are down it, so if anyone gets stuck,
Get stuck there over Christmas.
you're stuck. Unless we go back and get a grader. I don't know what to do now with this crane.
The delay is already costing him money.
I need to go and ring Joseph at his house, the client.
Sitting idle is an expensive mobile crane he's rented to unload these temporary homes.
If that crane gets bogged, mate, it's $3 a day, possibly for 2 weeks. Probably 40 grand.
If he risks trying to push through, a lucrative run could turn into a financial disaster.
So if the triple won't go, there's no way we'll get the crane across there. What about the road? This game is crazy. Absolutely crazy. It all hinges on that one road.
What's that thing?
I know.
It's not a bite? It's a pizza pocket.
Richo decides the rest of the convoy must keep moving. He'll stay behind at Warburton with the crane and send 2 trucks of perishable goods to see if they can get through.
Because if you get stuck or you break down, then you just don't go home. If we're going to get a breakdown, it's on this part now. It's the roughest bit of the whole section. Next 140 k's is rough as.
It's not long before conditions start to deteriorate.
You only got to wait 20 hours and it dries out.
Patches of water suddenly become lakes of unknown depth.
Oh, here we go.
He's only 21, but yet he is already a veteran of the deep water crossing.
Slid out a couple of times, going too fast, but you soon learn. Just slow and steady out here.
There's no way of knowing what the road is like underneath. The rule is, once you commit, you have to keep moving. If you stop, you could be stopped for weeks.
That sucks. Water on my feet now. Shit happens.
You get through one, but there's another waiting.
Here we go. It's that hot in here, it dries out anyway.
The trucks make it through, but they've taken a hammering.
See if it starts. That's me foot to the floor and that's doing 1500 revs. Here, misfiring. This thing's been leaking for ages. There's diesel everywhere under here. Not good at all. I'm going to make a phone call.
Time to give the boss back at Warburton some more bad news.
Where are you now? Ah, sorry. Yeah.
Looks like they've lost a truck.
I'll camp a couple of k's out of town and then I'll pull up at the truck shed in the morning and do it.
We'll be right. We'll get through it.
Yeti will have to sit tight, camp out, while Richo organises a replacement truck.
It's too hot out there, so I just come and sat in here for a while. I can't do bugger all else, you know. My truck's not even running properly. You know, you heard it, it's misfiring and all sorts of shit. So I've still got to wait for this other truck. And yeah, it's just what happens out here. You can be here for 5 minutes or you can be here for a week.
The roadside temperature has climbed into the 40s. The freezers will be working overtime.
Yeah, it's like 40 degrees, eh?
And the news on the two-way brings no relief.
What do they mean?
They're still there and they can't get the other truck started.
The breakdown has already cost them precious time. With freezers packed with cold goods, sitting around in 40-degree heat isn't an option.
That truck won't start that I'm supposed to pick up. I just hope this one makes it now. I know, just got to see how we go.
Yeti's delivery mission is over. His battered truck limps into the settlement of Blackstone. He's late, but at least he's made it.
Good Samaritan truckie Craig Porter is gearing up for a mercy dash.
We need to keep those farmers out there alive.
He and his 9-year-old son, Dakota, are planning an epic drive.
3,000 Ks out and 3,000 back. On this job, we can't afford to have any breakdowns. It's a charity situation, so everything that's being paid for comes out of my pocket.
Baked beans, spaghetti.
To get ready, it's a family affair.
Did you still want me to make all those sausage rolls?
On this job, there is no stopping at shops, there's no stopping at anything. We bought all our food. My wife Rachel's cooked a whole heap for us, and I also cook on the roadside. I think that's it food-wise, thank you.
Okay.
Dakota, can you give me one of those buckets, please?
Dakota is homeschooled, but he learns just as much when he's out on the road with his dad.
Dakota comes on these ones, these are the special ones. He spends a lot of time in the truck with me.
Is there water that comes out of that pipe?
Yep, that's what keeps the truck cool, mate.
I can help him. If the truck breaks down, I can help him fix it.
Yeah, you can't replace it. Cheap labour. He's very good. He's learning real quickly.
4 a.m, an early start.
It's time to get up.
To beat the city traffic jams.
You don't move, you just sit in the gridlock. Been up to 5 hours to get through.
Teeming rain is also going to slow them down, but not as much as this.
Wow, there we go. Bang, straight up, problem. I've flattened my battery. I had to do this once or twice before, but didn't think it'd be this morning. It's gonna be a long day. Just give it a try and see how we go, eh? She might fire up for us. That's what I want to hear. Another job underway, put the dogs away, grab the guard dog and we're out of here.
Get him. Hey, big dog.
Now the race is on to beat city traffic.
Flat batteries cost us a bit of time here into the traffic. Not much fun now. We've got a couple of hours to get through this. This isn't good. This is not good. Sit back and relax and just enjoy the car park. Pouring down with rain, and we're going to somewhere that hasn't had rain for 7 years.
Finally, through the worst of it.
Yeah, no, I reckon we'll be right. We'll be loading hopefully within the hour.
Craig's picking up 82 bales of hay, weighing in at 44 tonnes. Donated by farmer Chris Davey.
All good, nice early morning for you.
Oh, got your in?
In.
As the bales get higher, Craig realises he's creating a problem.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You can't go over 4.3, and the top bales make you go over 4.3.
His load could be too high for road regulations.
I'd be devastated if we can't get that extra load on.
With the lives of drought-starved cattle depending on him, it's not as simple as just offloading the offending bales.
Those guys up there are busting for the load to come in, but at the end of the day, if you can't do it, you can't do it. Authorities say where you can go. One bale means a lot, you know, and to drop 15 squares off is a big thing. Mate.
Craig doesn't want to leave any behind. He has to come up with a clever solution.
I just worked out that these older bales that have been on the ground have actually squashed enough. I'll be able to get 4.3. Now I just got to get the right mix of bales on and we'll have no issues. So if I'm dead on 4.3, job's done. We can go wherever we want, however we want, nice and easy.
Dad and son are way behind schedule. Now it's a race to get the stacking finished.
All right, it's going to be a game of just picking them and choosing them to get it right. Lift it up, mate.
I'm doing
You mongrel.
I just got that started for you, Dad.
I'd be lost without you, wouldn't I, huh? We're a bit behind. We're about 3/4 of a day, which is not great, but it is what it is. We'll be able to catch it up along the way, hopefully. Don't go too high.
At the weighbridge, it's Dakota doing the maths, and he's not afraid to let the boss know he's messed up.
Didn't get it. It went way too fast.
Oh, did I? All right, I'll back up. When he goes hard, I'd give you the tip. There's not much that he can't do. Do you want me to take over now?
No.
All right, let's get this trailer up to the border.
Finally, they're on their way.
3, 2, 1.
A breath of fresh air, but it doesn't last long.
That dog needs to get outside, man.
That dog stinks. She needs
to be outside in a hurry.
They've been on the road for 2 days and still have 2,000 kilometres to go.
Go put a fire in this truck's belly and get moving, eh?
From here, they need a smooth run.
Who's going? One of those fittings must have come off the trailer, I reckon, Dakota. We'll go and have a quick look.
Thing is out of air.
Can hear air escaping in underneath the bonnet here. I don't know what's going on. I can't believe this.
Craig and 9-year-old son Dakota are stuck with a broken truck.
Something's gone wrong on the compressor. Don't know what it is. Pressure relief valve. Just have a look. It might have something, a little bit of shit in it maybe. Hopefully that's all it is. I don't know. It might just be that it's jammed up somehow. Just pull it apart, give it a clean up, away it'll go. Hopefully that's all the problem is. It's not a biggie, it's just time, yet again.
Can you fix it?
Sometimes you can't. There'll be a gap there. I need you to put that screwdriver down in that gap, yeah? Don't stab me. No, we're gonna have to walk it.
And just when Craig thought it couldn't get any worse...
You're shitting me.
What? What just happened? Your knee?
Yep. I injured my knee a few months back. I was strapping down a load and slipped down and just got my knee twisted up, and I've torn my medial ligament. Don't pull me, don't pull me. Just every once in a while you just get in the wrong spot like I did then, getting up. Gives you an instant pain, just grabs you, it's just what happens, eh?
A dodgy knee and a sick truck. But Dakota's on the case.
Down in there. Well done. Second crack at it and it just pops straight away. The boy gets onto it, flips it and it's done. That's how it goes sometimes, you just got to take a breath. Let's just whack him back on and check him. Hopefully that was the issue.
Craig's back in business. In a bid to claw back time, he's looking for the fastest possible route.
This next little stretch is a bit of rough gravel from what I can understand. Never been on the road before. It's a little bit of a risk, I suppose, in one fashion, but it's going to pick us up a hell of a lot of time by taking this, and we're already down a day. We need to try and get it from somewhere.
A single-lane gravel road could be the answer, but what state it's in is unknown.
Been a bit of wet up here over the winter, so it could be pretty rutted out or not cleaned out. We just hope that the upkeep's been put onto it, otherwise we're going to find ourselves in a fair old mess.
Craig believes he's on the straight and narrow.
It's all been tidied up. Great, this is what we wanted. Smooth, beautiful. Luck has changed. Our luck's changed.
Back on the blacktop, he's making good time. But it's not all blue skies up ahead.
Looking up ahead, it seems to be that we're running into a bit of rain. We've got a little bit on the screen and the clouds are looking pretty dark out there. It's not far enough north to help our people, but it may be a pain in the arse for us. We'll have to see what happens.
Rain could ruin his load of donated hay.
If we get too much water on the hay, it absorbs it up. It will rot. It can turn poisonous to the animals because it gets the mildew on the inside of it. Look, it'd have to be really, really bad rain to destroy it or do any damage to it, but you just never know.
An overnight pit stop.
Feeling better, all cleaned up.
And they've dodged the rain. Burke is the halfway point on their epic journey. But it's a milestone they should have hit a day ago. A phone call from Mary at Janeville Station.
Hey, Mary, how you going?
And Craig's forced to break the bad news.
We've had a couple of things go wrong along the way, Mary. But when I first started off, I had a flat battery and we got tangled up in some pretty bad traffic down in Melbourne and rah-rah. So It's just been a bit of a nightmare going along, but I'm in Burke now. So I'm down in Burke.
You're still a long way, eh, Craig? I don't know what that is. It could be about halfway. Is it Burke or what?
Yeah, but it's a little bit over. Just, but yeah, halfway. Yeah, halfway. Mary is very anxious for our arrival. I think she's, as I say, she's one of the ones that have been worst struck by this whole thing, and she ran out of feed a couple of days back, and I haven't seen it yet, but apparently it's barer than this car park.
Every day Craig's not there is a day Mary's cattle won't eat.
So her cattle are doing it really, really hard, and they just don't have the coin to go out and splash on hay. It costs an arm and a leg to get it up there, so they're just waiting for this. This is really important to her, so telephone conversations with Mary are enlightening. She was a bit disappointed that we're not going to be there today as we thought we would be. However, she's happy enough that we'll be there tomorrow. She's hanging out for it like everybody up here. What does that sign say?
3,
Right there.
2, 1, Queensland.
Hey, we're here.
The further north Craig and Dakota go, the drier it gets. Nearly 90% of Queensland is drought declared.
When you look out across these paddocks, they're pretty darn dry. But apparently where we're going, it's worse than this.
Looks like there's been fires.
Up ahead, the end of the easy road. From here, the bitumen shrinks to almost a single lane.
Haven't got a lot of bitumen here, we're sharing it, so we need to get ourselves off as much as we can to get by and have no incidents. It's just a little bit nasty out on the edges, that's all.
The last thing you want to see on these skinny outback roads. A convoy of trucks, all of them wide, heading straight for them. One truck passed, then another. One to go. Put tyres on the dirt and Craig risks a rollover.
We could have been in a fair bit of trouble there because that back trailer did actually drop down over the edge a little bit. If I'd let it go, it could have tipped us. If you run off the road and brake or you panic, that back trailer's going to take over whatever's going to happen to you. If you back off or you get scared, you'll end up on your side.
It's not just oncoming trucks that are a hazard. Drought-starved cattle feeding by the roadside.
This is what they call long paddock grazing. So these guys are out chasing feed. They just feed along the side of the road. That's because there's no feed up here, you know, nothing in the paddock. So these guys just hit the road. This is public land, and you can do what you can do this. It's brutal. There's nothing here. There's nothing, you know. A couple of little shade trees, and that's it. There's like we all love an open country, and that's beautiful. But when you look and it's just all dirt, dust, and dead grass, that ain't beautiful.
A reminder why Craig's here.
This is their livelihoods, and it's just gone. These people, they've built a real grit, eh? You know, they believe in their farms, they believe in themselves. They just need a little bit of help. You've got to keep these guys going somehow because that's the strength of our country.
Craig and Dakota have been in the truck for 3 days. They have about 200 kilometres left to go. But Craig's heard the road up ahead is bad.
Found out that this is going to turn pretty nasty. This road hasn't had any upkeep in a long, long time. So what starts off as just a bit of gravel apparently is going to turn into some pretty nasty bull dust.
I feel sorry for the cows and all the animals that are here. There is nothing. There is barely any grass. Most of it's just dirt.
And to just think that not that long ago this was prime grazing country. Unbelievable.
This is the station they've driven nearly a week to reach.
This is it. This is the ones.
Yeah, the truck's just coming the gate now.
Their arrival, a relief for desperate owner Mary.
Can you open the gate for them, Joey, and look after them down there, please?
To get in, Craig has one more challenge.
There's a creek crossing out there.
Yeah.
Not too far. I get cattle in and out.
The road crosses a dry creek where there are sharp dips in the track.
Cattle trucks get through here, but I wonder if low guts drop decks do.
Craig's worried his trailers are too low to get up the creek banks. The station has nothing big enough to tow them out.
If we get stuck 79 tonne, 80 tonne, and we get stuck, those little tractors aren't even going to scratch. They're just going to sit there and go, whoa, what do you expect me to do?
Craig has no choice but to keep his speed up and go for it. Stressful for him,
Hold on, mate.
but not for some.
Oi, come on, big girl. Come on, traction up. Bit of wheel spin, but it's all right. We're good.
Waiting for them is 75-year-old station owner Mary.
Hey, at long last. Excited, overjoyed. Very good, lovely people out in the world.
Over 2,000 kilometres to the west.
The road is not good.
On the rugged Tanami track.
Things are already not going to plan.
Mark Cromwell is fighting a road and a deadline.
We've got this urgent job down in Cooperpedy, which we're trying to get to. They're waiting for us. I was meant to be there today. Don't think I'm going to get there today.
Having just finished one job, Mark and his team are pushing hard to get to the next. In the opal capital of Australia, Cooperpedy.
There's a big land lottery where the government has finally, after all these years, released land. So it's like a gold rush.
For the first time in decades, authorities have opened up prime opal country. Mark's mission: move some big machines for miners looking to strike it rich.
Our aim is to just get off this dirt, get on the bitumen, get down to Cooperpedy and move some mining equipment.
Here we go.
It's a job with multiple loads, multiple customers, and multiple headaches. At the moment, it's the rough Tanami track serving up the pain.
It is the harshest road that I know of, or that I've been on in Australia.
There's a truck dragging on the ground here.
What? On what truck?
The middle trailer.
Alright, yeah. Oh, it's close. If that grabbed it, it just would have gone snatch. She would have made a nice little mess. Obviously, it's vibrated and the little latch has come out and she's just free-spooled, so why does nothing ever go to plan on this road? The deadline doesn't stop.
Deadline doesn't change.
We have to be at Cooperpedy. And yeah, it's going to be a long night by the looks of it. Maybe 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11, something like that, before we get off this dirt. I've had no phone service, so just got to hurry up and get to Alice and sort everything out. So it's pretty straightforward rule, really. It's just the bigger you are, the more right of way you've got.
But now a problem that could stop him dead.
We are running extremely low on fuel, which is not an exaggeration.
To make matters worse, Mark's truck has a fault with its fuel tank.
The fuel surges in the tank and it picks up air and shuts down on us.
To avoid sucking air into his fuel line, he needs a flat road with no sudden stops.
I just want to be able to make that nice sweep straight into the fuel bowser with not applying the brake at all. Fingers crossed.
Unfortunately, the last leg into town is down a long hill.
Just use the trailer brake.
Followed by a sharp turn into the fuel station.
Oh, you pig. I told you it would do it. Oh. It's just like reading a book.
Mark's engine's cut out. And he's lost his power steering.
It f***ing did it exactly where we thought it would.
Really?
On the last turn.
What a f***ing.
Hopefully I'll just get it up this ramp a little bit. Look at that, it's the fuel station. Reading quarter on the gauge.
A frustrating flaw in his truck means it sucks air and stops when the fuel gets low.
Will it roll start in gear off the starter motor? Like in low range? Like low?
Nah.
So,
Whoa, there we go. Nah. Come on. Yes. Head back in action. Not running nice. Not happy. Every truck's different. Everything's got its own little quirk. So we'll give it a nice big boot full of fuel and it'll be nice and happy. Hopefully that is not a sign of things to come for today.
Tank's topped up.
G'day, it's Mark, mate. How you going?
A quick phone call to his customer.
We'll be there by the end of today, ready to load.
And it's 450 kilometres to Mark's first job.
We're out of Alice. We're on the road to Cooper Pedy, but we are stopping at Marla first so we can load this machine on. I'm sure it'll all go smooth. What could go wrong? Just hearing a weird noise. Could just be as simple as a change of wind direction. That's not wind. That's not good. Get a copy back there?
Yep.
I've pulled up, but something has majorly sounds like gone wrong.
Hopefully there's just something loose. Pulley's gone. Just something there. Yeah, the pulley's gone. What a of a day. So I need a new alternator belt and a new idler pulley.
Without an alternator belt and an idler pulley, the electrical system is crippled. Adding to Mark's frustration, this truck's just had a service.
When I told them, I said I want everything replaced. Cost of a $10 part, we're stuck here for no reason. When all these belts were already off. How many days ago, Matt? Oh. Not rocket science.
Time for Plan B.
So we're going to take the trip carrier off so we can go back into Alice Springs and get some parts.
But Matt, a trained mechanic, may have found a silver lining.
that idler that only runs air club.
Yeah.
So I can keep launching if you want, and you can just chase this down.
Yeah, we'll do that.
The damage is limited to the air conditioner. Matt and Brad can keep trucking, while Mark heads in the opposite direction, hunting for parts.
So I've got to get back to Alice and then get back to Marla tonight and then get this all sorted out. So, but I don't know whether this part's in stock. I'm going into the unknown, but I've got no phone service, so I can't ring. And there it is there. It's a big machine. Morning, very good, Eunice.
Good. I'm just gonna go grab me one coffee and start her up.
Start her up?
She started anyway last night.
It's a good machine.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Originally from Montenegro, Eunice Hodridge has a new opal lease 200 kilometres south, where he's keen to try his luck.
I was around here for a few years, which didn't do any good, so I'm gonna try down there.
For a one-man mining team, there's no better friend than a bulldozer.
I call her Queen of Desert. She was always in the desert anyway, that machine, anyway.
About 54 tonne. Little fat thing it is.
That's a lot of weight to load, with zero margin for error.
Have a look how slack the tracks are.
And steel tracks on a steel trailer.
Here we go.
Gives precious little traction.
Plenty of people have dropped these off the side. Just that's where it gets a little bit hairy, because they got to give it a lot of throttle to get it up. And then if one track goes the other one, it can sometimes go whoop. He's a good operator, old Eunice.
Next stop, Coober Pedy, and a big day of work. After this move, there's 2 more machines to shift.
We'll go from sun up to sundown, like there'll be no stopping. To try and get this all done, we're just going to keep going non-stop. So just work as a team and get it all happening.
Morning, sir. Shooting, mate.
Righto.
First drop off.
I'm off the road. I'm happy here.
Enjoy there.
Thank you.
Time for Eunice to strut his stuff again.
If you fire him up, mate, and lift the ripper up.
There we go. Oh, you didn't even blink an eyelid. He just sat there. When it went off the edge there, she did a little bit of a shake. But glad I wasn't driving it.
Well, good. I'm really happy anyway. I'm just gonna take me another about 1 hour crawler down there, and I start digging a few holes, that's all, and see what's happened.
See you, Eunice.
On to the next job, collecting a bulldozer in Coober Pedy for prospector John Dunstan.
That looks pretty simple.
But things might not be as simple as they seem.
Yeah, got a copy there, Mark? Mark Cromwell?
Yeah, copy.
Yeah, you got to come in through that gate.
Thought we were tracking it out here.
No, it's not to be done that way. The bulldozer has to be picked up right where it's standing now.
Is this a setup or what?
No, this is serious, mate. We don't want to chop the yard up.
Nice to tell me that just before I drove past.
The yard manager's very particular about how he wants it loaded.
And I said to him, we don't want the ground,
Yeah.
just chopping all the ground up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of traffic comes in here and we don't...
No, he's coming in. He's coming in.
I told him to go back.
When you come off of the sea containers on the right-hand side, you can do a big arc around there. Otherwise, you come back in front of the dozer, you go back towards where the gravel is, hold in the corner there, and by the old Army 6x6, and back by the dozer, you'll be right.
We'll see if the little man is happy with this. All done.
We'll go and grab the excavator. Yeah.
To collect the excavator, the team head off-road. Now it's on to the new Opal claim.
Corrugations are back. No matter where we go, we can't escape the corrugations.
On a bend, John spots a potential hazard.
Don't want him to do a tyre in. Okay, it looks pretty good. Okay.
But Mark needs to keep his momentum to make it up an incline.
Oh, do not make me stop. Get into it. Get into it. Go on. Now, get ready. We're going to stick the thong up at here. Come round a blind corner, he was parked in front of me, and then all of a sudden there's this jump up right in front of me. I think we're here. I think this is the road. Thank God for that.
Finally, they've reached John's lease.
It's an old clunker, but it works good. All I've got to do now is find some Opal.
For Mark, it's been another trial by Outback to keep his customers happy.
Thanks, mate. Anytime.
Long-distance trucker Peter Titoff is getting set for a cross-country haul. To his friends and foes, the 48-year-old is better known as Turbo. He's a hard-driving, hard-talking...
Jesus Christ, that's hot!
Outback trucker.
I've come from Brisbane to Townsville, done me drops, and from here we'll go straight through to Darwin.
Turbo makes his living hauling mixed freight. Whatever he can, wherever he can.
A mixture load is something that I sort of specialise with, is a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of everything, not just a straightforward run-of-the-mill everyday load, because anybody can do that. Well, I'm not just anybody. I'm me. I'm Turbo.
On this job, he's moving 3 trailers of tyres, foam bricks, and a truck cab and horse trailer. As a one-man, one-truck business, Turbo's competing with Australia's biggest trucking firms. But after 20 years on the road, he's decided to go head-to-head with the big boys.
New girl, and I've just taken over a new company. So now it's world domination for P&J Transport. So gradually over, you know, a 5 to 10 year plan, get myself into, you know, 100, 200 trucks. I'm taking on so much because I don't want to be a little fish in a big fish pond anymore. I want to become one of these sharks that are in the fish pond.
But that kind of fighting talk doesn't come cheap. Turbo's risked it all, buying 2 new trucks and 3 loading yards.
You're looking at $500,000 in buying out this business and setting it up, and that's just in gear. Then I've got to turn around and I've got to start, you know, I've got to put fuel in it. I've got wear and tear, registration, insurance. I've got to make sure that all the freight's on there and the freight keeps getting loaded all the time. Every time those wheels don't turn, you don't make money.
With everything on the line, Turbo's beginning the biggest gamble of his life.
I could end up losing the lot. That's the biggest risk. I could lose everything I've worked for. And that's a chance that I'm willing to take. Hopefully I can line it up perfect and one snap, bang, done.
With his new business at stake and 2,000 kilometres to go, he needs to hitch up quickly and get moving. Turbo needs luck on his side.
Okay, cross fingers, arms, legs, toes, bum hair and nose hair. I've earned it.
His road train's connected, but there's a problem. The lights on his rear trailer aren't working.
Shit lights.
Without them, Turbo's going nowhere.
Frustrates the shit out of you.
With night falling, repairs will have to wait until tomorrow. Next morning, time for repairs, Turbo style.
Zip ties and duct tape. Just got to chase the problem, see what's going on. It's not this plug, I've just pulled this one apart. It's shit I don't need to happen right now. Why can't everything just be automatic?
A faulty plug seems to be the cause.
We'll go get a plug.
Only problem, Turbo's out of spares. To find one, he'll have to hitch a ride to the nearest store, 60 kilometres away in the sleepy town of Julia Creek, where it's Sunday morning. It's a simple $20 part, but if Turbo can't find one, he'll miss the deadline on a priceless job for his new firm.
I'm chasing a 7-pin round plug for the trailers.
There's word of a local mechanic who might be able to help.
All right.
Only problem is that around the back of the workshop, there's hope. On his day off, the mechanics come in.
Here you go, mate. Just chasing a plug for a Susie coil.
Yeah, I'll have a fair listen.
Yeah?
Just go and get it.
This is one thing that I love about the little country towns. You know, people will always be there to help. They're the ones.
And he's got the answer to Turbo's prayers.
And that's how we rewire. Woohoo, was they on? I nearly fell ass up then.
With the truck repaired, Turbo can get moving. To make up lost time, he has a big day ahead.
Go Julia Creek to cross to the Curry, from there into Isa and cross over into Northern Territory. Roughly about the 800 to 900 kilometres for the day.
Such massive distances mean massive amounts of fuel. At this pit stop, Turbo will pump 1,500 litres of diesel into his tanks at a cost of nearly $2,500. While diesel hurts Turbo's wallet, it's the damage it does to his body which has more serious consequences.
If I service one of the trucks and I get diesel on me, it affects me. I end up really crook.
After 20 years driving trucks, constant exposure to the toxic effects of diesel has taken its toll.
Diesel, which has seeped through the pores in my skin, which has then gone into my blood system. So I literally have diesel coursing through my veins. Eventually it will screw me up to where I won't be able to drive.
Turbo's crossed into the Northern Territory on his run to Darwin. If he's to make up lost time, he needs clear skies.
The only thing that's slightly playing on my mind is the wind factor.
And a clear radio.
There was a case.
Yeah, mate.
Was
just put in the GPS, 2,800 something kilometres.
There was a
Yeah, I
case.
just had a quick add up and I reckon it was 2660 or something, so yeah.
Who gives a shit about your shit?
Get used to sitting in a car.
Some people, they'll sit here and they'll just talk shit. Absolute just waffle on. You know? Oh, we had bacon and eggs for breakfast this morning, and oh yeah, well dinner that we had.
Taken a while.
Better right.
Yeah, we can see you up in front. We're sitting on 110.
Who gives a
Yeah, we're a little bit above that, I think, but it's all good.
That's why you don't talk shit on the radios. Because there's an oversized load coming, they're talking shit and I couldn't hear them call until she's called it to someone else. You know, I need to know that shit's coming at me. You know, the edge of the road just caught me the last second.
You're right, mate.
Have a good one, eh?
With the dramas behind him, Turbo can cool down to his normal, relaxed self.
Brain dead car driver's got no brains in his ass. Pull over, let me go past you. 130 kilometre an hour speed zone, and he's doing 70. Plenty of opportunity to pull off, and oblivious to me being behind him. Hasn't once looked in the mirror. And I can't overtake him because we're in bends, climbing a hill. Just because they're on holidays, they think that I've got all the time in the world for them. To drive up here, they need to learn to drive in these conditions. We're all out here doing a job and we need to know what's going on. What's going on there?
It's an engine warning alarm. It could be a sign of serious trouble.
Just coming the engine shutdown. Why? I'm going to pull up. I'm going to throw the bonnet. I've just popped the cap. It's got plenty of water. Now all I'm doing is I'm having a look to see if I can see anything.
Turbo's hoping it's just a minor fault that set off an engine sensor. If he's to make it to Darwin today, he'll have to risk it and push on.
It's coming back to being a sensor. Only thing I can do is keep an eye on it. I'll get to Darwin. I'll get it on a computer in Darwin and it will tell me exactly what it is.
If this gamble doesn't pay off, Turbo risks getting stuck in the outback with a massive tow truck bill to pay. And it's not looking good.
Come back in. It's got to be. Say it's a sensor.
Despite the risks, Turbo keeps going. He still has 500 kilometres to go, and daylight is almost gone. Finally, after 3 hard days on the road, Turbo's made it. Despite his troubles, this trucker's ready for more.
2,500 clicks from Townsville through to Darwin. A couple of little teething problems. You got to expect it. I didn't know how the truck was going to run because this is the first major trip I've put out with it. Best part is one trailer's unloaded, unload the other trailer in the morning, turn around, fully load both trailers again, straight out of Darwin, straight back to Brisbane. So I'm happy.
Trucking veteran Steve Graham's heading to the beach.
It's really unusual for me in my life to actually get to a beach somewhere.
But it's no vacation.
You do anything silly out here, you pay for it.
The coast is a bone-crunching 600 kilometres away, at the very top of Australia. Steve must conquer the treacherous Gibb River Road to get there. It's notorious for eating trucks alive.
Idle along, grit your teeth.
On the outskirts of Kununurra, Steve hitches up the road train. He's on a rescue mission for 2 good mates. Hundreds of kilometres away, husband and wife trucking team Joe and Nick Atkins are in strife on the edge of the continent.
We've got a truck down at the moment with the wheel bearing and just too much work on. We've got Steve to do this run for us.
Steve gave us our very first job 10 years ago.
And they want a hand, well, we'll head over there and see what we can do for them.
Steve needs all his skills.
Pretty rough, this one.
Refined over 40 years behind the wheel.
I reckon I'm getting off this bloody road onto another worse road.
If he's to conquer this truck-killing road.
And then you get the odd local customer like him and he ain't scared of nothing.
Steve's cargo is massive. 5 shipping containers, fully loaded with building materials and fuel.
This is the last bits of it.
His faithful companion Bella is along for the ride. Back on the road after busting 2 of her ribs.
Righto. Oh, well, that's good. I've got everything chained down and I'm on the road again.
Steve knows Joe and Nick's reputation is on the line. He has to win this battle. with the notorious Gibb River Road.
That's the end of that beautiful bitumen and the start of the bloody corrugations. Got 600 kilometres to go.
And every one of them a bone-shaking and load-bashing ordeal to endure.
Here we go. There's the Pentecost River down there.
The waters may look tranquil, but the hidden dangers beneath even have an old hand like Steve concerned.
The worry with crossings like this is you get rocks between your jewels and then you blow 2 tyres or rip the sidewalls out of a couple. You can hear some of the rocks banging up underneath us. And of course we're dragging 3 trailers through here, 62 wheels.
Catastrophe can strike at any moment, leaving Steve and his giant cargo stranded, with only crocodiles for company.
It's giving it a bit of pain here and there. The worry is that the little round rocks get between the jewels. Righto, I better go and check that there's no rocks between my wheels. Let the dog have a drink in the creek. Watch out for crocodiles, doggy.
While Steve checks his 62 tyres survived the crossing, Bella keeps an eye out for unwanted visitors. The tyres are intact, but the rough crossing has shaken Steve's load.
Look at that, this one's moved across. You wouldn't think it would do it, but they do it.
Back on the road. Back to hours of grueling corrugations. The treacherous Gibb is taking its toll.
Oh, I don't know what's going on now. I've got brakes come on somewhere back there. Better have a look at what's going on here. You can see the brakes locked on and skidding down the road. This brake here appears to be the problem.
It's a major brake failure that can only be fixed from underneath the truck. With only 2 of the truck's 16 brakes locked on, it's a dangerous task.
Now, I really don't like doing this, getting under a trailer on a hill like this, but...
Steve takes out a little extra insurance. A rock and 2 brakes are all that stand between Steve and disaster.
What was that noise?
He can't figure out why his air brakes have seized and locked the wheels. If Steve can't unlock his brakes, he could be stranded here for days.
Oh, I don't want to move. You host. I found the problem. I had a maxi booster replaced on this trailer. The hose clamp obviously wasn't tightened up properly, and it's just dropped the hose clamp. And this particular brake here has got no air going to it, so the maxi's locked on.
The simple hose clamp is just the latest victim of the corrugated road.
Well, that's that sorted, I think. A silly little 50-cent, 75-cent hose clamp, you know?
But the corrugations aren't about to make Steve's life any easier.
It's pretty rough, this one. These bloody corrugations, I just went to grab a gear then and I just couldn't get it out of gear. Then this is not good.
On one of Australia's toughest, hottest roads.
Well,
the last thing he expects to see is a lone cyclist.
all I can say is good on her. It's a tough job driving the Gibb River without riding it.
Steve still has 360 kilometres of this trucking hell to conquer.
I'm a bit under 5 kilometres an hour now. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm getting sick of these corrugations already. I'm going to call it a day. Come on, Bill.
After 13 hours in the saddle, battling everything the road throws at him.
No, not again. The quarter guard's not just cosmetic, it's there for a real reason. All the stones that fly off this steer tyre bash into those oil filters and knock a hole in the oil filter. That's the engine oil filter, drops my engine oil. And there we go. Imagine the damage that would have happened if I hadn't realised what was going on. It would have gone under tyres and all.
It's a lucky break for Steve, but he still has to deliver the massive cargo for his mates, Nick and Joe.
I'll have the leprechaun stuck on the window. You're supposed to bring me luck. See how you go. Today's got to be a better day.
To get to the end of this truck-busting journey, he'll need all the luck he can get.
Well, lucky leprechaun, thank you. There is a grader here.
Steve's leprechaun seems to be working. This stretch of the Gibb River Road has been recently graded and the corrugation smoothed out.
Into the jump-up country now.
In the Outback, jump-ups are slang for steep hills.
We're getting a bit closer to that mongrel feeder jump-up now.
The feeder jump-up is one of Steve's nemesis. 350 metres of nerve-wracking climb.
I am going to have a crack at it with the 3 trailers.
To deliver on time, Steve is about to attempt something he's never done before.
Get myself in the lowest of my low gears, engage all of my diff locks and cross locks.
Pull 3 trailers, nearly 100 tonnes, up in one go. 350 metres of steep incline.
I've got to try and pick that bit between wheel spin and stall out.
He needs all the grunt of his 600 horsepower engine.
As I feel the rough bits of ground, I just ease off on the throttle ever so slightly. And of course, here's the mongrel bit up in front of me, this nasty little pinch. It's loose surface now, it's scary as shit.
If the wheels start spinning, his massive rig will be stranded on the hill.
Oh, I just had wheel spin. Every now and then I feel those wheels just start to break traction. She's hanging on.
Feeder.
That's the first time in my trucking career I've pulled 3 up here.
Is finally conquered. On the notorious Gibb River Road, Steve's truck is bashed and bruised.
Well, it's good to be nearly there.
But not beaten. A grueling journey ends with a welcome reunion.
Hey, how you doing?
Trucking mates Nick and Joe are thrilled to see Steve and his load make it to the coast in one piece.
How are you, love? You good? Oh, this is good. I get 2 cuddles. Give me a cuddle. Right, well, there you go. There's the ocean just over there. You know, Australia's a bloody big country, but I finally got to one end of it.
Steve has called on all his skills to defeat one of Australia's toughest roads.
That's the last container off. The job's done. It's really unusual for me in my life to actually get to a beach somewhere and to be able to sit back and enjoy good friends and look out over the ocean.
An Outback legend has earned the right to kick back and relax.